So there is a video of a person who is colorblind, and I actually do recommend this video. It's quite interesting. The channel is called MegaLag or something like that, and he made a video called "Exposing the Colorblind Glasses Scam." Enchroma created a certain pair of glasses that are said to help people who are colorblind see color, and there are certain scientific evidences that this might actually be complete. Well, let's just say 99.99% nonsense. Um, what I would say, however, is that a lot of you know people who have red and green color blindness, it's very possible that you might could filter out certain wavelengths that definitely wouldn't necessarily give people the experience of seeing more shades of color, but it would certainly take, I guess you could say, the fundamental um, differences between pure red and pure green would be maybe a little bit more specific. You would be able to maybe differentiate those two perhaps maybe a little better, but it does mute a lot of colors in between, and it doesn't really work very good to perfectly fix color blindness. Now, what I will say though, is one of the biggest problems with this product is probably the tint they use. Um, they're using tints to try and correct color vision, and the color they use is magenta. Now, magenta might seem like it is a good candidate, considering that the green blue color that we see, or not the green blue color, but the greenish yellow color that we see, which is a shade of it's called chartreuse. It's said to be the brightest color we can see. The opposite of this would be magenta, and I guess their logic is that since this is perfectly between red and green or something, that this is that's a good color to use, but that's not exactly 100% correct. Essentially, what it does is it enhances the hell out of red, mutes green a little bit, and maybe makes blue a little bit better because of the blue content, but pure red glasses, like the other ones that he used, which were ones, other than enchroma, um, they really mess with your color vision. Red glasses, all they do is make you practically see in black and white with a red tint. Um, what I will say is that humans have three color receptors. We have red color receptors, as they're called, green color receptors, as they're called, and blue color receptors, as they're called. Um, with that being said, the best color to enhance color vision, I believe, would actually be glasses that have a slight violet tint. And the reason why I think the glasses with slight violet tint would be the best glasses to enhance color vision is that essentially the way we've evolved in nature is that we see green better than any other color. We don't have near as many red color receptors, and we have even far fewer blue color receptors. So if you wanted to see a world that was somewhat color balanced, you might need to up the ante, not even mostly with red, but mostly actually with blue. You would have to enhance the frequency of blue, and you would have to slightly enhance red. And I've done this before, and I'm not colorblind, but what I have noticed is that even though I don't technically see more shades with violet glasses, what I have noticed is that it seems to be a more fair battleground, you could say. Because when I see green, it might be a little darker, but that's what you would expect. You would expect there needs to be a high amount of green content in order to see a bright green. In the same way, you would need to have a high amount of red content to see a bright red, or a high amount of blue content to see a bright blue, especially a lot of blue content, which is dangerous. It would be better if we were more sensitive. That way we wouldn't need to see as much blue content to enjoy the color. But essentially, that's basically the idea. I think this video is a good video. It goes over what the problem is with these glasses. They're trying to just, fix color vision essentially with a tinted lens, which can't work for people who are colorblind, but it might actually have certain benefits for people who are not colorblind. And if you're not colorblind, it might actually show you somewhat of a more realistic worldview as far as color is concerned. Because if we had perfect trichromatic vision, the the wall behind me is much bluer than it looks. You're seeing mostly blue content in the wall, but there's a little bit of green content. That green is shining right through there. But the blue content is actually much stronger than the green content. So if you actually saw it the way it really is, it would mostly look blue. My wall essentially is blue, but it looks cyanish. That's mainly what I wanted to say. But yeah, I do recommend that video. I think he does a pretty good job explaining why the enchroma glasses are not necessarily great for people who can't see color. But essentially, for some people, you might have a red cone, as it's referred to, that's too close to the green cone, and they kind of signal each other at the same time, effectively creating a sort of brownish cone. And in order to fix this problem properly, you might need some type of lens to look through to separate the signals in a certain way. I do think he's not 100% correct when he said that the enchroma glasses didn't make the fruits stand out better, the yellow fruits stand out better, because as humans, I mean, yeah, obviously it didn't really stand out better, but as humans, we're used to green being dominant. We're not used to seeing high red content in objects. So he's right in a sense that you're not really seeing a better yellow. But I think in a sense he's also wrong, because I think that the yellow content, what we refer to as yellow, is not yellow, it's gold. It's an orangish yellow. And what we refer to as chartreuse is not chartreuse, it's yellow. But we see it as greener than it actually is, because our eyes are green sensitive. So if we saw perfect color vision, chartreuse would be yellow. Yellow would be gold. Orange would be like a dark reddish pumpkin color. And red would look like the most crimsony color we can really imagine. Blue would look like so pure it would almost have a whiteness to it, with somewhat of a violetish almost color to it. But I wanted to make a video saying this because I don't know. I think that you could you know, you could make the case actually that in an ideal world, what we consider to be discolored could be colorful. And enchroma glasses don't really necessarily make you see more color. But I think in certain situations they can differentiate certain colors in much the same way that yellow glasses might allow you to tell certain shades of blue more distinctly despite eliminating blue content from a scene rather than adding blue content from a scene. And the reason why that is, of course, is because we don't see blue content as good as we see red and yellow content.